Hey everybody, Chris here. The crypto 4-year cycles, including Dogecoin and Bitcoin, are still in play. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. Many times when we're watching the charts, we're a little too zoomed in. We're watching the immediate price action. People getting all worried about it's going to dip a little bit, or we're going to get a little bit of a recovery. But if you zoom out and you look at the bigger picture right now, things don't look so bad. Patterns are emerging. We still have the fall coming with the 4-year cycle. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here with the current Dogecoin chart. And we are zoomed in a little bit at 26.5 cents. That's right, 26.5. We are finding a bottom here after Friday's dip, which was predicted, of course, by yours truly. And we're looking for the recovery on Saturday, and it hasn't started yet, but we'll see as the weekend goes along where this goes. Bitcoin is still $115,000 a Bitcoin, and people are all upset. It's $115,000 a Bitcoin, and we'll see. I'll show you the charts in a minute that this is a good place. This is a good spot for Bitcoin to be in. It did come over 116 briefly earlier this morning. It looks like it's curling up to come a little higher. We zoom out a little bit, and we had all the excitement from the FOMC meeting on Wednesday with a big follow-up run happening, and this is the pullback back to the same level as Bitcoin was on Wednesday's FOMC, and it was the same with Doge. We're right where we were on Wednesday. So yes, we had all of this trading up here in this red box, which we will get back to. This is in that 28-cent range. Eyes on 29, and then possibly up to 30, which is where my magnet is. And I'm just going to keep it up here because we're going to wait and see when we get back up there. So what are we talking about overall? Bitcoin, Crypto Rover says, look, we're in this overall upward channel. If we zoom out and we look at the April lows, we had the recovery. This was the fear of tariffs right earlier in the year, dumping of the crypto market, risk-on assets. But since then, we've been in this channel for Bitcoin moving up. So this is looking at least $130,000 on the next move up for Bitcoin. And we look at Trader Allen looking at Doge, and now Dogecoin seems to trade in these sort of descending triangles, and then we break out of it. And then we get into a descending triangle again, and then we break out of it. This is a pattern that we've seen again and again and again for Dogecoin, and we are in it again. So let's see if it repeats the breakout this time. Ali, hey, our friend Ali, look at that. We have a TD sequential indicator flashing a buy signal. Yes, we have a buy signal for Dogecoin. So we like Ali now. But of course, his TD sequential indicator said to sell Dogecoin at 23 cents. And now we're buying back in at 26.5 cents. So we lost some Dogecoin on that deal following Ali. Merlin's like, look, Bitcoin loves to test your patience, right? Loves to test your patience. Has a little run, rejection, accumulation period, reset, and then move higher, right? We get rejected, then move up higher, and then we accumulate. Have a little retest, move higher. Then we get rejection, right? Accumulation with a dip and a reset, and then we move higher. And here we are again, same thing. Accumulation, reset. What's next? The patterns do repeat, right? The patterns do repeat. And being patient, as we are now, I think is going to pay off. And this is only for a short period of time that we have left in this cycle. So what about these cycles, right? What about these cycles? Look, this is Titan of crypto. And I'm not going to show you the current chart right now. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to where he was 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. He posted this on January 5th, 2023. And he said, look, These are the 4-year cycles. We have this move that always happens with Bitcoin after a bear market. And this bear market here was back in 2014. Then there's a 3-year period up. And this was into the end of 2017, 2018 bear market. Then 2019 to 2021, bull market, new all-time high. And then we go into a bear market again. That was 2022. He posted this on January 2023, and here's what he said. He said, look, here we are. This is what could happen. The next 3 years, 23, 24, 25, and we would be up here. And he's at like $150,000 to $160,000 target for Bitcoin. Posted January 5th, 2023. What was I doing right here? I was going all in on crypto. This is where I was buying. Bottom of the bear market. What can you do about that now? Well, you can catch the tail end, right? We're at the tail end now. Because now what we look at is, look at this dotted line here, right? Look at this arrow that he put on here in this light blue box, right? Now, let's look at his current chart. Here's the blue box. This was his arrow. Look at where we are. Playing out as predicted. We're at the tail end right now. Doesn't mean you can't make money here if you buy now, right, on the dips, but it's just going to be a little bit. You're not going to make the big money yet. For that, you're going to have to wait till the end of 2026 to go in again. If we indeed have a bear market in 2026, just like these pink areas that we had, 2014, 2018, 2022, the next one would be 2026. Now, no guarantees, right? Some people are saying, oh, it's all different now. This time is different because we have these Bitcoin ETFs, institutions, banks, big companies like buying these strategic reserves and all that. I don't know. I'm like, look, it's probably going to happen again. Because that's how the cycle has worked all around Bitcoin halvings, U.S. presidential elections, money supply, economic cycles, like all of that seems to be going in these 4-year cycles since 2008. And here we are again. There's the finish line right there. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. So Dogecoin, will Doge mirror the pattern of the past bull cycles? What about Dogecoin, and will Dogecoin do the same thing? That's what we want to know, right? And look, this is an interesting chart here. This is showing long-term holders. And look what happens, right? You've got long-term holders increasing, right? Because people are hodling. This was back in 2021, right? People are hodling, right? Until the big bull run happens. And then what happens? We get near the top and the price starts decreasing. The long-term holders, right, are selling, taking profits. Now, not too many took profits right at the top, but we started to see a little dip down. And that was right at Saturday Night Live, May 8th, right? There was profit taking starting. And then as the price of Doge kept going down, more and more were profit taking. And so you end up with less long-term holders. There was hope at the end of 2021, right? And we had this big increase where we came to that point of a long-term holder increase, thinking that next run that Dogecoin had late summer 2021 was going to lead to higher prices because Bitcoin went up. They ended up being more bag holders though, because Doge ended up trading down. So that's how that cycle played out. But that was because of this incredible run in 2021, which I kind of discount this second big run. That was all that Elon hype. If we didn't have that, this would have been the top. And then, or maybe this was a preliminary top and the actual second run that Doge had would have been the real end of cycle. But this whole hype stuff that we had kind of blew that out of the water. So what do we have now? We had a lot of selling going on in 2023. There was a lot of selling, a lot of people just getting out of Doge because Doge wasn't really making that move up from the bottom of 2022, the same as Bitcoin was. So a lot of disgruntled Doge holders were selling and getting out of Doge. And so we went all the way down, long-term holders on this chart. Now that it goes much lower. This isn't the bottom. But then, right, we start seeing early 2024, late 2024, we see these big runs. And then as Doge falls back, then we see some selling again. But it'll be interesting. It looks like it's ticking up right now again, right before a big move up. Very interesting. Now we zoom out on the 4-year cycles too, and we look at these big circles, and it's just like, again, 4-year cycles. What do we have? Dogecoin history literally repeating itself. Every major Doge pump has been preceded by this exact 1-2 pattern. We are at the final stage of the pattern again. The chart shows the same setup that launched the previous parabolic moves. 1, 2, boom. 1, 2, boom. 1, 2. Is this what's next? Is this what's next? So what's going on now? Dogecoin gets its own ETF, Doge, right, with a J. What that means for meme coin legitimacy. That's right. Big time for Dogecoin. On Wall Street with an ETF, even though it's the Rex Osprey one, that's okay. It's trading. You can now buy this in an ETF. And we got Grayscale. It's got its amended S1 with the SEC, just filed yesterday. All set up for October 18th. Grayscale is the big time. This is the big one. Grayscale is a little bit bigger than Rex Osprey, and so we will be watching that as well. Will Dogecoin retake 40 cents? Like, what are our different targets for Doge? So we'll be watching that as we go through the end of September and into October. And again, on October 1st, I'm going to have my October price prediction for Dogecoin, of which I've already given out a few little hints on X and during my live stream, so you can watch that. But I mean, you zoom out and it's like the chart looks pretty good for Doge right now, even though we have a slight pullback. But are we going to see a meme coin revival? Are we going to see Pepe, Bonk, With, Pengu, like all of these crazy blow off tops coming for memes this fall? We'll be watching that as well. And what about the roadmap, the bigger picture? Where is Doge going to go? You know, this chart is $5. Like, I think that's a little bit strong. I think it's going to be a little subdued from that, not quite the $5. But again, we have these bigger triangles, right? Just like Trader Allen was saying, right? As we go back and we look at shorter term descending trend lines, right, on these triangles. We even have it on the larger scales, big scales of these triangles. Looking at the 4-year cycles, I mean, the bear markets for Doge tend to kind of go longer than Bitcoins. They tend to pull out longer than Bitcoins. So, but this is all setting up for this next big run in Doge. So, I don't know. I'm not selling right now. I'm not selling. These little pullbacks, buying opportunities on dips, we call all of that, right? Again, you're not going to get 10Xs from here, right? We're in that tail end of the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. Is it going to be a super cycle or extended cycle? We'll see. But again, my plan is take some profits, but leave some in the game just in case. We'll talk about that more during our live streams. But let me know what you think. Do you think about this 4-year cycle thing, and you think there's still another big run left for Doge coming over the next couple of months? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.